be still and remember Him daily. He tells us be kind and forgive. He sings in our hearts with the voices of angels, revealing the reason to live. I am with you always, can't you hear me? I am with you always, you are near me. Dearer than the dearest, dearer than the dearest, I am your very own. I am your very own. The love of our Lord is as vast as the ocean, though silently given and quietly born. The love of our Master is flowing forever, though silently offered and quietly shared. He tells us be still and remember Him daily. He tells us be kind and forgive. He sings in our hearts with the voices of angels, revealing the reason to live. I am with you always, can't you hear me? I am with you always, you are near me. Dearer than the dearest, dearer than the dearest, I am your very own. I am your very
भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Om, O gods, may we hear with our ears what is auspicious. O ye otherworld ones, may we see with our eyes what is auspicious. May we sing praises to ye and enjoy with strong limbs and body the life allotted to us by the gods. Om, peace, peace, peace. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. A human being is a part of the whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings, as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison to us. restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Albert Einstein. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me here in Hollywood. My name is Swami Dhyanayogananda, and my center is Ramakrishna Monastery in Orange County. Did you like the quote from Albert Einstein? Do you want me to repeat it? Yes? All right. The whole thing. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. Which one do you choose? A human being is a part of the whole, called by us universe. Do you agree? A part limited in time and space, clearly. He experiences himself, he experiences his thoughts and feelings as something separated from the rest. Is it true? Yeah. Where do we center our lives? In our body. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This is the point. A kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison to us. Restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Personal desires, everything I want for myself, and only for those who I love, who I consider my own. Is it true? Yeah. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion. Compassion equals love. By widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. The topic today is living the life we want. We all want something, don't we? We are wanting people, wanting beings. But when it comes to our lives, we all want to live our lives to the fullest, without fear, the most vibrant life, the most authentic life, a life filled with joy, a fulfilled life. We all experience a desire for good things in our lives, some of them in the form of dreams, since we wouldn't even believe for them to become true unless, of course, you get to work. We all want to lead a filled life, but fear and doubt attack our heart. Is this the right thing to pursue? Am I capable of doing this? Is this spiritual enough? We fear the challenges, but it's actually the challenges themselves that keeps us alive. the challenges themselves keep us alive. And when we overcome them, we are grateful to them. We only need to be persistent to remain consistent in whatever we choose to do. We only need to be persistent to remain consistent in whatever we choose to do. Guess what? This is also true in our spiritual life. This is also true in our sadhana when it comes to our conviction to lead a spiritual life. The attitude that we embrace towards myself, my spiritual practice, and life in general. From the broader point of view, we also want to be able to enjoy our lives, to live intensely, deeply, profoundly, being able to appreciate every single moment of our lives. Think about it. We all want to lead a good life, no doubt. But when it comes to a broader idea of my life, I just want to be able to live without fear. I just want to be able to enjoy my life to the fullest. What happens to us? We are afraid. We are unable to get out of that cocoon of ours. And dare to live. Today we're going to be talking about how to live intensely, intensively, if you will. But in order to appreciate every single moment of our lives, in order to live deeply, profoundly, we need the right mind. We need to work with ourselves so that we can transform our lives and feel fulfilled. What do you think? For everything you want in life, you need to work hard. You need to stay committed. You need to be determined, even in spiritual life. A few months ago, somebody called me, a person very dear to me, long-time devotee, and a friend, to catch up, He was like, I got everything. I have good relationships. Financially, I'm solid. Somehow, I am unable to enjoy my life. I'm afraid I'm going to lose everything. That itself was enough to just, whoa. I never thought that way. Why would you be afraid? So we started talking, and with logic, and somehow we managed to end in a good place. Why being afraid to live? At the same time, or simultaneously, I happened to be giving a series of talks in Spain, and somebody texted me, a devotee also asked me, where are you? When I said, I'm in Barcelona right now. Oh, Swami, enjoy it. Live it intensely. I was like, wow, that's beautiful. That somebody is, inviting you to live intensely, an experience, right? And I saw, wow, how interesting. On one hand, somebody who is unable to enjoy life for fear of losing everything. At the same time, somebody else having a different type of mindset, inviting me to enjoy life intensely. Can we do that? I thought. I'm one of those who thinks, like, of course we can. Of course our life is for us, not us for life. We just need to understand. We just need to think a little bit. I gave this talk about a couple of months ago in Trabuco, and I actually have to say I enjoy it. Because as I said before, I was triggered to think about it. And I think there are many people who are a little confused when it comes to leading the life they want, when it comes to enjoying their lives deeply, or living their life profoundly, and at the same time leading a spiritual life. Is this possible? Yes, it is. Of course it is. Let's see. Living is inevitable. Life is inevitable. We are here, we are living. Why not living then? And if living, why not intensely? We usually like to live and dream intensely when it comes to the future or our past. And when it comes to our past, we can be very intense about those days. Life is now. I know, sounds like very new agey, but it is true. Life is here and now. We should live every moment with the same enthusiasm as when we were kids. Remember? Those glorious days. And express that enthusiasm all around us by bringing out the good part of what we have learned today. The present makes us exist. Living in the present allows us to being aware of each situation. Living in the present allows us to being aware of each situation, finding that eternity in every single moment without wanting to change a thing. Try to be in the moment. Pay attention to the moment. Dare to do that, and you will relax. Let's see. We are here to live and not to be lived. We are here to live, to enjoy life, and not to be enjoyed by life. So the only thing required is we take charge of our lives by making the right choices. We can assert our own lives. Choose the life you want to live. Life is a life lived intensely committed, intensely dedicated, intensely related. We have to relate to each other. We have to relate to the world with a solid value structure and with a strong determination. We make a distinction between being alive and living my life. One has no choice in some areas. There is no choice in exercising choice for a human being. Have you ever thought about it? There is no choice in exercising choice for a human being. We need to choose. Should I breathe or not? What should I eat today? Should I have dessert or not? Should I relate to the world or not? While living, there is no choice. The world is out there for us. We open our eyes, I see you, I relate to you. I am the subject, you are my object. It's inevitable. I need to relate, we need to relate, we need to connect with each other, we need to associate with each other. This association is inevitable. Living is a kind of associating with each other. Living is connecting with each other and with the world. In other words, living is relating. One can be alive without relating to the world, but that is not living. In a state of coma, one does not relate to the world. Is that life? That is not living. Yes, the person is alive, but to truly be alive, you have to relate. You are alive, and you need to live your life. It's your right. Albert Camus, do you know him? Albert Camus is a very famous French Algerian novelist, playwright, journalist, essayist, philosopher, and revolutionary who lived in the 20th century. I like him a lot. Camus says, "Stop looking for happiness in meaning. You will never be happy if you continue to search for what happiness consists of. You will never be happy if you continue to search for what happiness consists of." Camus was promoting here what he called living without appeal, which means to acknowledge that there is nothing else for you to see beyond the here and now, just the ordinary and mundane everyday existence, what's right in front of you at every moment. Did you follow me? Living without appeal, Camus called it like that, which means to acknowledge that there is nothing else for you to see beyond the here and now, just the ordinary and mundane everyday existence, what's right in front of you at each and every moment. And if you refuse to live like this by persisting in the imagination of what could be for your life, you are basically a sinner, he says. For if there is a sin against life, it consists perhaps not so much in despairing of life as in hoping for another life and in eluding the unstoppable grandeur of life. Grandeur of life. To put this simply, the biggest sin is not so much hating your life as much as it is hoping for another life, because in doing so, you are missing out on the beauty of the life you now have. As we have limited time on earth, because we do, we should spend its living each day to the fullest, and we should not spend it thinking of the afterlife for imaginary worlds. Your life is here and now. It's a fact of life. There is no tomorrow. Yesterday is gone. All we have is our choices, what's right in front of us. Therefore, live intensively. Live intensely. This life is a gift. Appreciate the beauty of living in a world where the experience is heightened. In this dimension, in this world, our experience, our sense experience is heightened. Even the angels want this experience again. It is said that other worlds are kind of foggy, like in a dream. But in this world, everything is like, wow, full color, HD, full HD. Camus encourages us to live to the point of tears. Isn't it beautiful? I was criticized one day when I decided to become a monk, because I guess I was always like this, I was very passionate about life. And when I shared this to my friends, they said, "Oh, you're crazy, you can't do this. You vibrate so much with life. How can you be a monk?" So, I don't know, let's see. To live to the point of tears. What did Camus mean by live to the point of tears? If to live to the point of tears is an exhortation, it is an exhortation to live life to the fullest. Are you done for this? As a philosophical argument, Camus meant that you should live until you cannot stand it any longer. Fantastic. Why not? According to Camus, the tragic condition of human beings is caused by the conflict between their desire for meaning. What is the meaning of this? Why are we here? If everybody who I love, they go. If we are killing each other, what is all this? The tragic condition of human beings is caused by the conflict between their desire for meaning. Please tell me what this is all about. And the silence of the world. Don't you listen to that silence all the time? What's going on right now in Israel, the Hamas? I don't know. What is fair, not fair, just, unjust? Just, but please, do we really have to kill each other? The answer? Silence. The tragic condition of human beings is caused by the conflict between their desire for meaning and the silence of the world. The world's refusal to provide us with any meaning. The conflict gives birth to the absurd of our human condition. Absurd. Don't you think sometimes like that this is absurd? Every day we go to bed, we wake up same time. At least to me, it's always the same time. I was telling somebody the other day, I'm cursed. No matter what, I want to sleep a little more. Always same time. I was like, oh my. Even more, the absurd is the beginning of life, not a dead end. Camus says, life is worth living, even when it has no meaning. The absurd is the beginning of life, and not a dead end. This conflict keeps our soul young and rebellious, keeps us truly living in the present moment. For those committed ones, of course. Precisely in that conflict, we can create a meaning for ourselves. The more meaning we create for our lives, the more intensively we can rebel against the world, and the more intensively we can live our lives to the point of tears. Thus, the only thing which remains is acceptance. Acceptance leads to individual freedom. Accept what it is. You can create new meanings, even though life is meaningless, according to Camus. It is worth living and should be embraced as it is. Vivekananda says, a statement of facts as they are. Embrace the silence. This is life. We are still living in the here and now. We need to live in the present moment and make the most of it. Thus, Vivekananda says, day by day, till karma's power is spent, and release the soul forever. This is something that we monks and nuns, we embrace. Thus, day by day, every day is an opportunity for a new life, for a new resolution, to stay committed, to give meaning to the life, to your life. We need to live day by day, moment by moment, minute by minute, second by second. By knowing how to enjoy the present moment, you can more easily reach the state of acceptance. Try it. And you will know how to face the absurd. The absurd now, when faced, carry meaning. Living is simply a beautiful experience once you accept the absurd. Camus thought that the greatness in a person is pulled out when they are confronted with challenges. He thought that the greatness in a person is pulled out when they are confronted with challenges. Get out of your comfort zone. Enjoy the challenges of life. That is living. So instead of asking what my passion is, the better question to ask is, what could I be passionate about? What could I be passionate about? To explore the qualities of vitality, curiosity, and spontaneity that makes us feel alive. Whatever it is, walking your dogs, spending time with your kids, seeing them grow up, whatever it is, writing, reading, studying, taking piano lessons, pursuing what increases your focus and intensity, and in turn, define your life by passion. Totally committed. And if you do this, according to Camus, you are living your life to the fullest. Now, but in order to live, as I mentioned before, we have to interact with the world. We need to relate to the world. Get out there, to the field, and confront it. So, how to live is the question, don't you think? Yeah, that sounds great. Now, what do I do? How do I do this? Living is connecting. Living is relating, not just with human beings, with situations, circumstances. Confronting. In order to live your life, you need to be present. You need to relate to the world. Do I have the choice to connect, to relate to the world? Do you have a choice? Unfortunately not. It is a statement of facts, the absurd. I open my eyes, you are in front of me, I am relating with you, to you, and vice versa. When you think of something, you relate. When you imagine something, you also relate. Even in a dream, you are connecting. While you are awake, you relate to this world. So while living, we need to relate to this world. There is no choice. Where are you going with this, Swami? Bear with me. Stay. Don't go anywhere. I'm telling you your minds. Stay put. This is important. I don't choose to relate, though I may choose to avoid a relationship, but that is also a form of relating. When I see you, I am relating to you. This is the subject and object relationship. I am the subject, you are the object. Do you agree? What happens to us? When I see you, I start painting you with my own colors. That's the problem. I am the subject, you are the object. It is impossible to avoid relating. It is impossible to avoid making a choice. And when you relate to a situation, how do you respond to that situation? It's also a choice. One has to take the initiative in developing the capacity to choose. In fact, one has to exercise one's choice to become more deliberate, more conscious, in order to become more spontaneously good, spontaneously doing what needs to be done. Since my relating to the world is inevitable, either I relate to the world intelligently, or I relate unintelligently or mechanically. To be intelligent is to be objective. What? Objective? What is that? Influenced by personal feelings. That is subjective. Objective is the opposite. You should not be influenced by personal feelings or opinions. In considering facts, you should not be influenced in considering or representing facts. When you do that, you flow. It is the subject-object relationship. I am the subject, you are the object. The word objective. The word objective naturally presupposes another word, subjective. To be subjective is when we allow ourselves to be influenced by personal feelings. When we allow ourselves to be influenced by our likes and dislikes. That is to be subjective. When we paint the world with our own colors, then we are in trouble. Because as you know, sometimes it's not what you think it is. When I see a flower and accept the flower as it is, I am objective. When I see a person and accept the person as he or she is, I am objective. To relate, I must be present. The I is the subject, and what you relate to is the object. It may be a person, an object, or a situation. There is something that you objectify, which you call object, and you are the subject of or who objectifies. This, my friends, is what we call life. This is living. Relating, we usually do that subjectively, but our scriptures say it should be done objectively. Without painting it, putting on your opinions. But in order for this to happen, I have to be here and now. Yes, is that mindfulness? Call it whatever. No time and space. It's here and now. All you have is your existence. That's all you have. Did you know that? The most precious thing you have is the awareness of your existence. And it's here and now. It's present. And in the awareness of your existence, you can make choices. You better do this. In relating, the one who is invariably is the subject. Excuse me. In relating, the one who is invariable is the subject, referred by the first person singular, I. Objects are variable, whereas the subject is always invariable. Do you agree? Things keep changing. You, the one inside there, is always the same. But no, my body keeps changing. That's an object. Didn't you find yourself thinking like, I'm always the same? I feel like a kid, even though I'm not a kid. To be truly objective is to truly understand the subject. What is the subject? Who is the subject? This is Swami. Oh, I know where you're going, Swami. The famous Vedantic principle. You are that Atman. And you are correct. You are that Atman. That is the subject. But hey, Swami, what happened with my colors when I paint the wall? There is a problem there. That subject is being influenced, affected, if you will. Even though you are invariably present in all situations, you see yourself as a complex being. Listen. You may not think about this all the time, but you think of yourself as a complex being, not as a single person. For you are in different roles in life. When you relate to me, you don't know me very well, so you keep a little distance. Hello, Swami, namaste. How about your role when you relate to your wife, husband, father, mother, siblings? Your role is different. You're not going to treat me as your best friend. You may, but you will be, oh, well, all right, I guess. I guess we are good friends, right? So when it comes to life and relating, don't you think that we are a little bit like actors? Like the role of an actor. The roles that you play in your life are like roles of the actor, of any actor play on the stage. Let us suppose an actor plays the role of a beggar, who naturally needs to be exposed to a lot of privations according to the script on the play or off the play. However, the actor does not seem to be affected or influenced by the role. In one situation, he is supposed to cry aloud, and he does it so well that he even brings tears to his eyes. And everybody's like, wow, that was a great acting. How did you do that? Did you use onions? Did you keep onions by your side? No, I was just acting. I was just playing my role. And I had to play it right, because awards are coming, right? Now, why does he not play the roles in the same way in real life? If you analyze your life, you play different roles depending on your status. The status of a father, son, husband, or wife. All the roles are only referential. You are not the son, you are not the father, you are not the husband, you are not the wife. When I say I am the father, I am the son, I am the wife, you are looking at yourself from different standpoints that define you in different roles. These are all notions, and they are all about yourself. When you look at yourself in relation to your parents, you are the son or a daughter. When you look at yourself in relation to your children, you become the father or the mother. In a theater, it is very easy to be aware of oneself while playing the role. There one knows one is not the real beggar even though he's all dressed up like a beggar. The whole thing is a drama. One knows one is not the son of so-and-so, and so who is playing the role of a king or son of somebody else. Real life, however, is not seen as a drama. In our case, we believe this is truly a drama. The subject, the person, is influenced. Everyone affects the person. If you look at each role this affected person plays, there is no role without conflict. All roles are filled with conflicts, problems. Either in real life or in a play, there is no role without conflict. Very rarely there is a role that is free from conflict. In a play, you know clearly that it is a role. The space between the role and the person is very evident. Bear with me. But where is that space in our real life? That space where I know I'm not the beggar. That space that makes me feel comfortable and relaxed and able to flow and enjoy. That I know I'm not the beggar. Where is that space in our real life? This is a very good analogy. Because truly the actor is nothing but enjoying his acting. Truly enjoying the moment. He's having a great time. No matter the conflicts, the problems, the circumstances. What happens to us? What is that space? The actor assumes the role of a beggar without losing his real identity. But this is not so in our lives. Why? All through the play, the actor remembers that he is so-and-so, even though as an actor he identifies with the role's emotions in keeping up with the script. All the while he remembers himself. He remembers, I'm a rich person, I live in West Hollywood. This is great. This is just a play, right? I have millions in my bank account. In some kind of island, I don't know. Mm-hmm. There is a space. The problem of the role are confined to the role. The problems of the role are confined to the role. They are not allowed to enter into, to affect the actor, because there is a space, the space of self-identity, the space of self-awareness. That space is not influenced. That space is unaffected. And here is where I'm going with all this analysis. Vedanta demands analysis, you know. Vedanta demands analysis. We have to think. The actor is unattached. The actor is very much present in the role of a beggar. Every bit of the beggar is the actor. The whole of the beggar is the whole of the actor. But at the same time, the actor remains uninvolved. It is very evident here. The space is clear. What happens in real life? The world keeps changing because it's variable. You are also variable in the sense you assume a relevant change as the situation changes. You believe to be true, my friend. You are responsible. This is nothing but a dream. Remember when you dream and you are like, you wake up, oh, thank God it was a dream. What happens to you if while dreaming, you all of a sudden become self-aware that you are dreaming? Wouldn't just like, oh, nobody can kill me. This is just a dream. Let me have fun. Let me enjoy it. Do you see it? If few people are standing in front of you, and the first person is your father, the second person is your mother, you become your father's son in front of your father, and your mother's son in front of your mother. Clearly, a father's son is different from the mother's son. According to the person you relate, you change. And this is called sanity. Because you better pull out the right role at the right moment. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. In front of a police officer, for example. In real life, unfortunately, that space, self-awareness, is missing. We don't know who we are. We don't remember we are the actors. We don't remember this is a drama. We are all given a script to play. But I don't think I'm very important. That's fine. You have your role in life. You have your own contribution to your own people, to your own family. Just play it. Enjoy it. We lack that knowledge. I am the actor. And you are different from the roles you play. You are an entity, a person. The meaning of the first person singular, I. In Sanskrit is aham. Away from the role. You are a self-conscious being. Do you all agree?
Yes.
You bet. You are a self-conscious being. The only thing you have is the awareness of your existence. You are present here. Now he's paying attention to his phone. He is with the phone. Sorry. Just. Now, this conscious being needs to be understood. In Vedanta, we assert the fact that we are conscious beings. That's all we have. But this is not enough. Because to say that I'm a conscious being is also to say that I'm also an individual with reference to this body-mind-sense complex. As an individual alone, I'm a conscious being. This conscious being is also related to a total, to a totality. It is like the tree in a forest, which is related to the mother tree, to its own brother tree, its own siblings, young siblings, the whole forest, the whole family. While the tree is interrelated to other trees, at the same time it is related to the forest as an entity. if the forest is an entity, and if this particular tree is related to the forest, then the relationship of the tree to the forest is the same as every other tree's relationship to the forest. It is a relationship of the individual to the total, the totality. The totality is the forest. As an individual, I am related to the whole, to the total, just like the wave and the ocean. There is no individual without the total. Did you hear that? If the individual needs to be understood, so the total. The total has to be understood. Without understanding the total, if somebody says, I is consciousness, Ananda, which means bliss, it will not work because that person is going around the reality that the individual is part of a total. You cannot go around this reality, the reality of you as a totality. You cannot bypass the reality of the total. What do we call the total? What is Brahman? G-O-D. God. Brahman is the idea, the principle of what we call God. We cannot define Brahman. Brahman, all we know is Brahman is everywhere. Like fish in the water. Where is not? We create our idea of God based on that highest thought we can conceive with our minds. And we call it God. Then different religions have different names, different shapes, etc., etc. The problem starts. Who is greater? Let's not go there. We all are capable of conceiving the highest thought. And when it comes to that, you and I are the same. What is the highest? Well, somebody who can be everywhere at the same time, who knows everything, who creates, preserves, destroys. Our idea of God, which is the totality, the ruler, the one who is responsible for harmony. But what's going on? There are things we cannot understand. We don't see the whole picture. I am an individual conscious being. The totality is also a conscious being. If it is the truth, then my not knowing the truth creates all the conflict. Like an actor thinking that his role is true. We cannot enjoy our inner space because we don't know the reality of our basic relationship. The actor knows that he is an individual. He knows all about himself as an individual. He also knows that the individual is different from the role that he plays. What do we know about ourselves? If you define yourself, you cannot separate yourself from everything. So, do you understand why we keep saying that you have to have a relationship with God? Do you understand why we say that you have to lead a committed spiritual life? To commune with you as a higher reality. When you remember and rest there, you enjoy peace. And life is easy. The challenges of life are enjoyable. Then only you can live intensely. Then only life is beautiful. Without the totality, we are afraid. Do you see it? This is the space we are missing, that we forget we are the totality. That we forget to be coherent with that truth. That we forget to respect and love each other as my own. This is the basic teaching of Jesus the Christ. I would rather live my life as if there is a God and die to find out there isn't, than live my life as if there isn't and die to find out there is. Did you hear that? That was Albert Camus. I would rather live my life as if there is a God and die to find out there isn't, than live my life as if there isn't and die to find out there is. You don't want to be that person. You cannot go around the totality of what we call God. In Sanskrit, Ishvara. You want to call it Brahman, call it Brahman. You want to make it personal, then call it Ishvara. The preserver, creator, preserver, and destroyer. That's our idea, right? Somebody must be responsible for all this. You have to establish this relationship by recognizing the fact that as an individual conscious being, you are related to the Lord, who is all knowledge, who manifests in the form of this reality we call the world. If you want to go around to bypass the totality, you cannot understand Vedanta. It just doesn't work. It will never work. So you better get to work. The whole purpose of Vedanta is to understand the identity between the jiva, the individual soul, incarnated soul, and Ishvara, the totality. That is called Jiva Ishvara Aikyam in Sanskrit. When you recognize this relationship, you, all of a sudden, become naturally a devotee. You know what? I can't control everything. I surrender. I am your devotee. And in life, you start relating with each other as a devotee. Remembering, honoring your true, real identity. It's not about me. It's about all of us. You have no choice in being a devotee, in accepting the relationship with the totality. This is life. Stop running away. There is only one way out of this maze. Get hold of your real identity. Remember, accept it. Then only you will enjoy. You will flow, you will surf in these waters. Then life is fun. That's all we want, don't you think? So when we monks invite you to lead a God-centered life, do you understand now what we mean? When we invite you to honor and worship God in everything, do you understand what we mean now? See yourselves in everything. I gave a talk recently. I invite you to watch it online. It's called God is Love. You will find more answers about this. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole nature in its beauty. Do you understand it now? That was Albert Einstein. Really? Sounds like a great saying. Maybe he was. Because you have to have the mind to understand this. Only then compassion towards others is possible. Live intensely. Live to the point of tears. Relax. God is all around you. Be afraid not. This body is going to die anyway. Enjoy the moment. Live the moment. Fly. This is only possible when you embrace the totality. Never forget that. This is only possible when you remember you are just an actor. Then only you will be able to live objectively, to take it as it is, to expand, not to contract constantly by our own opinions, our likes and dislikes. Living aware of the total as not different to yourselves. Then only you can live intensely. Life, says my dear friend Thomas Merton, life is this simple. We are living in a world that is absolutely transparent, and the divine is shining through. We are living in a world that is absolutely transparent, and the divine is shining through it all the time. This is not just a nice story or a fable. It is true. Thank you. Before closing, do you have any questions?
Will you be in the
Live stream?
Yes, live stream. Let me just, our community here, we have 10 members with COVID. So we feel a little like better not to go to the library or the greenhouse, that's how we call it here, because we have to take care of each other. That's the reason why some of you, and I should be wearing the mask, but you know, it's difficult to talk. because it's all around, the COVID, so we have to dodge it. So we are doing the Q&A right here. Yes.
Your lift us from bondage to freedom. Come to us, show us the way. Lift us from Maya to freedom. We who are struggling today, carry us over the ocean. Perfect in all, carry us over this ocean. We humbly wait for thy call, and Maya must not claim us, Maya must not bind us. When you come, you'll find us with a throne in our hearts for thee. Show us thy wondrous face. Walk with us close by our side. Grant us thy wondrous grace. Remove us from falsehood and pride. With a throne in our hearts for thee, lift us from bondage to freedom. Come to us, show us the way. Lift us from Maya to freedom. We who are struggling today.
Any questions, any comments? Did I torture you? It is important that we accept that we are here to relate to each other and to the world. To live subjectively is to live from the Atman, to live from the self, from the identity of the totality. When we remember that, we can enjoy peace. That's the reason why we are encouraged to remember the Lord or to have a spiritual discipline. Without it, we forget. We believe this to be real.
When you say relate, connect with God, you say meditation. Meditation or different.
You have to accept, first thing first, you need to accept the reality of the totality. And if you're going to relate to that reality, you can do it through symbols. Otherwise, it's very abstract. Brahman, God is everywhere, but really is everywhere, even in this? Yes. But when you use your emotional constitution that we all living beings have, and connect with that idea of God through symbols, or accept somebody as a representation of that reality, then we can connect. We can find that space within us. That is exactly what happens to you when you pray. That is exactly what happens to you when you meditate upon your Ishta Devata. By the way, we are in Navaratri right now. It's very auspicious that we remember God as Mother. For those who are coming from India, this is Navaratri, to remember Mother Durga, the one by contemplating which she will take care of us and destroy all our demons within us, which are born out of our ego, all our limitations. So yes, that's how you relate to God, through symbols. But you have to make a decision in life. My life is not going to be centered in myself, in my body, but it's going to be centered in what we call God, a God-centered life. Have you made that decision? Then things will go easy. Yes?
So I have a question about this notion of finding meaning in life.
Yes.
So I'm able to understand that I'm not my body and mind, at least at an intellectual level, and pure consciousness. I'm also able to see the pure consciousness in others. But when I'm stepping into this unreal world of Maya, I can relate to that myth of Sisyphus by Albert.
I can see so much confusion out there, huh?
Rolling up the stone up the hill all day into it and really stand at the top of the hill. So it's like, it's almost absurd, and I'm struggling to find meaning.
Okay.
Stepping into the world of Maya, how do I find meaning?
Yeah.
Even though intellectually I understand that I'm pure consciousness, everyone else is pure consciousness.
All right.
But
So,
I know I can live life trouble-free with that realization, but when it comes to relationships, it's a two-way street. So like you may not be seeing me as pure consciousness. You may see me by my body. So how do you find meaning?
well. Is this real to you? Everything that is in front of you is real to you. Is it real?
It is real.
Yeah. Your body is real. As long as it's real, it's real. I'm not telling you that it's not real. All I'm saying is that we are not awake enough to see a different reality. Okay? And when it comes to that, then we have to trust the source of knowledge. The first source of knowledge is your senses. Your direct experience. The second is called inference. You see smoke, run away. There must be fire. The third one is when you trust the teachings or experiences of world teachers. But then also there is a science there. You have to take it to be real and practice and make it real in your life. Then only you will realize that God is truly all around you. And that's the only reality. The Maya concept comes to us a practical solution to find answers to something that we cannot answer. The absurd that I was talking about before. This is absurd. What is the meaning behind all this? But if you follow the teachings of these ancient teachers who have realized that reality by going within themselves and follow their footsteps, then you will find meaning in your life. The meaning that you are looking for is this. Embrace that. Embrace that and be serious. Practice. Make it real. Remove that hypnotism. Yes. Yes, yes. Oh, cha. All right. So there is puja going on. So, sorry. Last question.
I'll make it quick. If God is everywhere and in everyone, those things or people which are evil, is that asura in them, or is part God partly in them as well?
It's the same power of love. Okay? But it's being misdirected. Nobody's evil in reality. Nobody's evil. It's just that we are misusing the same power. We are going against ourselves by doing the wrong thing to others. You are doing it to yourself. And if you fall into a loop, that's why people who practice that kind of love, lower aspect of love, they have a hard time because they can never enjoy peace. The only way to enjoy peace is to honor each other as yourself. Okay? Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, that outer world is Purna, full of divine consciousness. This inner world is also Purna, full of divine consciousness. From Purna comes Purna. From the fullness of divine consciousness, the world is manifested. Taking Purna from Purna, Purna indeed remains, because divine consciousness is non-dual and infinite. Om, peace, peace, peace be to all. Thank you. Next Sunday at our Hollywood Center, Thou art the Supreme Mother, Swami Sumanasananda. He's the Assistant Minister of the Vedanta Society of Southern California. He'll be here talking about that Supreme Mother we are honoring these days for the next 9 days. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Watch out.